Hello. Welcome to the Mally Ray channel's first episode of the podcast. I am so excited to be doing this. I tried to start a podcast with my family like 10 years ago, and obviously that didn't work out because I was very little. And so I am so excited to be doing like a little fun podcast. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of awkward pausing that I have to edit out, but it's okay. I honestly don't know how to hold this mic, so I hope the audio turns out well. Today, we get to talk about writing your first novel as a teenager. I wrote my first novel when I was 13, and that's the first novel that I published. I was kind of writing like random chapter books before that, but that one was one that was really close to my heart and took a lot of work and effort, and so that was kind of like the first one that I took seriously. Like, I wasn't just writing for fun. So these are kind of like my steps that I have learned in the 3 years since then, because I have written so much since then and learned so much since then. So if I keep glancing over here for those on YouTube, I have my notes so I don't get sidetracked like I already have, because I can't stay on one topic to save my life. So, my first step for you guys today, because this is going to be like a step-by-step thing, I'm going to run you through it, and you guys are going to have so much clarity by the end of this on how it's even possible for somebody to... My watch just like went wild. For somebody to write a book as a teenager. So, my first step for you is you better have an idea. You're not just going to sit down at your computer and start writing and think you're going to make it up as you go and it's going to make sense. So, the way that I have always gotten ideas is literally I'm just like walking around and someone says something and I'm like, huh, that'd make a really interesting book. Or someone asks a question and I'm like, huh, that'd be a really interesting book to write around that question. Sorry, that didn't make any sense at all. I literally don't even know how to explain this. Like, if someone was like, I wonder what would happen if I had to break my best friend out of jail. And I'm like, oh, let's write a book about that. Like, I don't know where that came from. That was something so random. But, like, it's, like, that kind of thing that'll always, like, make me giddy and have a book idea. Or, like, reading a different book and having that kind of book idea. Full disclosure, this podcast is literally going to be me... Oh, sorry, my brother's on a four-wheeler. This podcast is so going to be me, like, going on little tangents about everything writing related. I hope you can't hear all these four-wheelers and trucks. Oh my gosh. This is going to be the most chaotic podcast that you've ever seen in your entire life, and I apologize for that. Or listen to. Seen on YouTube or listen to, whichever one you're on. Okay, so, if you do not already have an idea, here is how you're going to brainstorm that idea. So, you want to combine all of your favorite things. So, think of your favorite TV show, your favorite movie, your favorite book, your, like, something that you're absolutely obsessed with. Like, if you're obsessed with, like, true crime, please write a book about true crime. Like, all of the things that you love the most, if you put that into your writing, people are going to be able to see that you really love what you're talking about. And it's going to be so much more interesting for the person if you are in love with what you're writing about. So, how I came up with the idea for my latest book was I just started writing down things that I was obsessed with at that time. So, at the time of writing that book, it was Outer Banks, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the 80s, and summer, and the beach. So, I took, like, the friend group dynamic of Outer Banks, the beach, the 80s, the murder mystery from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like, all of these things that I loved, I took all of these and tried to figure out what it'd be like to combine them all into one story. So where you want to start is that notebook that I told you to grab, that I forgot to tell you to grab, the notebook, go grab it, write all this stuff down. You need a notebook for this video. So if you're listening to it, if you're watching it, pause this, go find a notebook, because you're going to need to write this down. So step 1, the idea. Get your idea. brainstorm some stuff. I'm sure you'll come up with something, because there's always going to be like random stuff that you're like, oh, that'd make a cool book. Or like, go in your notes app. Did you write down any book ideas? I have like 12 billion book ideas in my notes app. Maybe I'll share them. Maybe someday I'll be like, hey, anyone want these? And just like throw them out there and you guys can have at it. Comment if that would be something you're interested in, because I will totally make a video on that. Okay. So now that you have the idea, you got to start planning it. So the planning is going to be basically every idea that came into your mind when you thought of this book idea, write it all down in one big document. I don't care how crazy out of whack it is, I want you to write everything down in this one big document, and it's going to be so big, and it's going to be messy, and it's going to be your brain dump. I call it brain vomit. People don't like that, but it's brain vomit to me, because it's my brain just like throwing everything out there onto a page, and it's my brain dump. So once you have your brain dump, you have to put this into a coherent outline, which sounds like the most daunting task ever. Don't worry, it's not. It doesn't have to be. If you want it to be, you can make it like aesthetic and clean and pretty, or you can basically just all these ideas, make them make sense and put them in an orderly fashion to where it makes the plot move forwards. Now, there are so many videos on like the 3-act story structure, plotting, writing. If you want those videos, just like YouTube them. Abby Emmons, Anna New, all of these people are going to give you the best insights on writing that you could possibly ask for. And there's so much content out there on YouTube. Take advantage of what you have. You have YouTube at your fingertips. You have Pinterest at your fingertips. You have so much inspiration everywhere. Take advantage of that and use it when you're writing, because you don't need a teacher to teach you this. You have people uploading videos for free, like me, so that you can achieve these dreams and achieve these goals. Okay, so you have made your outline slightly coherent, and I don't want you to spend forever on this. Just like write it down, have it all in a slightly orderly fashion, and now we're going to dive into the hard part. I want you to do a chapter by chapter outline. Where are your chapters going to start? Where are they going to end? What happens in between? And I want you to do like a mini 3-act structure in each chapter. Like, you need the start of the chapter is going to be the conclusion to the one before that, because you want to end every single chapter where your readers want to know what's going to happen in the next chapter, to constantly have the book moving forwards. So when you're doing those chapter by chapter outlines, you have the start of that chapter, which is the conclusion to the chapter before that. And then you're going to have the middle, where you are introducing the next big conflict. And then the end of the chapter is like the middle of that big conflict, so that you want them to move on to the next chapter where they end that conflict. So there's just going to be these constant cycles of conflict, because that's what storytelling is. It's basically moving the plot forward with a new conflict, with a new struggle, with something new and exciting coming up all the time. So once you have figured out how each chapter is supposed to go, you can do that in like a bullet point outline, or you can do, oh my gosh, more people are showing up. What the heck? Oh, there's so many people at my house, guys. Somebody save me. There's all these guys with trucks and 4-wheelers. I'm gonna lose it. I'm trying to film a podcast. Okay, enough of that. So, when you're chapter by chapter outlining, I want you to either write this in a notebook, in a Google Docs or Word Docs file, or you can do the sticky note method. I think this is the coolest thing ever. I have tried doing it and I kind of like I forgot. If you have a blank wall in your room, please do this and like tag me in it or something, because I need to see this. I want so badly for one of you guys, when you're plotting your book, so each chapter is its own sticky note, and then like make this huge wall of like all these colored sticky notes with all your chapters, so that when you're in your room writing, you just like go to your wall and you can see what's supposed to happen in each chapter and then write it down. Like, that is the coolest thing ever to me. It's so cool. So if one of you guys thinks this is cool too, please do it and like take a picture and be like, Mally Ray, come look at this because it's so cool. Because you told me to. So you can do it in any of those 3 ways: sticky notes, computer doc, or like a regular lined notebook paper. As long as it's something that you know you can remember where it is and you're not going to forget it, it's all good. Okay, so we've done the outline. So then that was step 2, and then step 3 is the actual writing. So step 3 is the drafting stage. So tape your outline to your desk. If you did it on a like Word document file, I want it like out printed in your hands to physically look at it when you are writing, so you can constantly reference it. You don't have to switch back and forth because you will forget to reference it. So have that taped to your desk, to your wall, in a binder, whatever you need to have it like right there next to you, and then just start writing. Open up a Google Docs or a Word Docs. Google Docs is the free version of Word, basically, and start writing whatever your outline says. And when you are writing this, I want you to keep in mind like what you want your writing style to be and your writing voice to be like, because you want it all to stay coherent. Like, you don't want to write like with very like pretty prose and then like be like very upfront the next time you write. Like, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but like keep your writing voice the same the whole time. If you have like someone that you really want to mimic their writing voice and their writing style, read a little bit of their book before you go and write, so that you have like the sound of that writing voice in your mind. Like, for example, I love the way that We Were Liars is written, so if I wanted to mimic that, I would like read a little bit of that book and then go write my own. And it's not copying, it's taking inspiration. You're not writing the exact words that she wrote. You're just inputting your own style in it. Obviously, E. Lockhart is not going to write your book the way that you write it just because you read a little bit of her book. Like, that's not how it works. You're just taking inspiration from her. Never be afraid to take inspiration from somebody, as long as you're putting your own spin on it. Like, Pinterest and YouTube and all these creative outlets are out here for a reason, so we can inspire each other, as long as we put our own spin on it. Like, you're not directly copy-pasting from somebody else, right? You can never do anything the same way someone else will, because it's always going to have your own touch to it. So, that said, you're drafting your book. You have your outline, and then you're just going to write till you finish it. And then, once you finish that, you're probably going to read it back and be like, oh my gosh, this is so not what I meant to write. And I have so many plot holes, and the characters are different ages throughout the whole book, and everything's messed up. This is normal. This is what happens when you write a book. This is the normal for writers. And it's okay. Even though you planned and you plotted, there's still stuff you forgot about. So then go back, write your second draft or a third draft, however many drafts you need. I just don't want you to stop in the middle of a draft to start a new draft. Just finish the one that you were on and keep going. And then you can come back and write a different draft. Just because you need to have that full idea in your head, and you can't have that full idea in your head unless you have a full draft. So just get your first draft done, and then write as many more after that as you need to. When you go back and reread your draft, write down the things that you think are wrong so that you can fix them and you don't forget about them. Writing is all about literally writing down what you think you need, because when you're a writer, your brain is so filled with so much random information, like the color of your character's eyes, the day they were born, like all this random stuff. You're not going to remember, like, oh my gosh, I need to fix this plot hole, because your brain is already filled with so much stuff. Like, this is just the reality of being a writer, is you forget everything. I constantly have stuff written on my palms, and I have stuff written in my phone. My notes app is a mile long. So just make sure you write everything down when you think of it. Even book ideas, chapter ideas, scene ideas, write them all down the second you think of them, because you will forget. Which is why I always have stuff written on my wrists, because I don't always have my phone handy or a notebook handy, and then I write it on my wrist and then write it down later. Once you are finished with the draft that you are most happy with, you are satisfied with how your draft is plotted, how the characters are, it's like mostly coherent, then take a break. You're done for a while, because you need to come back and look at it with fresh eyes. So that's why step 4 is the wait. Set aside that final draft for 2 to 4 months, so that when you come to look at it, you can see the way it was written and not the way you thought it was written. Because your brain is going to think you wrote it that way when you read it back, and you didn't, and it doesn't make sense to anybody except you. So you want to set aside your book for like 2 to 4 months, and make sure you like have a reminder set like, hey, I can start editing on this certain day, and just literally count out like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, however many months you want. If you know you're going to be really busy around a certain time, try to do it in that period so you don't have to worry about writing when you are in that busy stage, because you're in your sitting stage where you can just sit and relax and you don't have to worry about it. I know it's going to be so tempting to go back and read it because you are so excited because this is your book, this is your dream, this is your novel. You want to go read it, but it's so worth it to just sit and wait so you can come back and look at it like you've never read it before, like you never wrote it, because you're forgetting all the fine details of it. So that's step 4 is the wait. Step 5 is the edits. This is probably the most challenging part for me because this is where I read back my book and I think, oh my gosh, I want to give up on life. This is so awful. How did I think I could be a writer? Like, this is what happens every time. And you feel so helpless, but trust me, it's going to be fine. It's not as bad as you think it is. You're just being overly, like, criticizing yourself. My light just turned off. Well, shoot, it died. Okay, that's fine. If you're on YouTube, you've probably just seen my face go dark. Editing. Sorry. Okay, editing. So once you're back to your edits and you think it's trash, don't give up on it. Go through one edit. Edit it through one time where you're on your computer, you can put in edits whenever you want, and then you have to hand it off. That is as far as you can take it right now. Because if you give up right now, you are never going to come back to it. So get it to the point where it's like, it's the basic plot, the basic characters. You're like mildly satisfied with it. Even if you're not mildly satisfied with it, actually, I want you to give it to somebody else and get their opinion on it. Give it to your mom. Give it to your best friend. Give it to your cousin. Anyone who you know that has your best intentions in mind and is going to tell you the truth about what they think about it. And is going to tell you where it's missing stuff, where it needs to be added, where stuff needs to be taken out. Like, hey, this part droned on for way too long and it was uninteresting. Like, this is what they're for. These are called your beta edits. So send it out to as many of these people as you can find. Even maybe if it's someone you don't even know. Like, on YouTube, I could, like, give my book out for beta edits on YouTube. And these people do not know me. So they are going to be so honest with me because they know that I can't come get them. Like, they're just these random people on YouTube that want to read my book. And so, honestly, it's best to find people who you know are going to be truthful with you, no matter how much it hurts, because it's actually way more helpful than it is hurtful. So, beta edits. After you self-edit, when you have your beta edits back, put them into your draft and do another self-edit. And you're going to start to see, oh my gosh, this is actually good. Because you've had that encouragement from your betas as well. Like, you want them to encourage you as well. So ask them for positives and negatives, because you want that encouragement as well. So once you've done self-edit, beta edit, self-edit again, there's the option of having a pro edit it. You can hire someone off of Fiverr, which is like a free, I don't know, like, website for hiring people for random, like, business stuff. And you could hire a pro to edit it and see what they think, because that's their professional job, is to do that, which will obviously cost money, though. So it's completely up to you if you think you want that last edit of a pro or not. And then, so you've self-edited it. I want you to print it out and go back and read it and see how amazing it is. You did that. From your mind, you wrote that. Like, this is impressive. Not everyone can do that. If you have made it that far, like, congratulations, you are in the 1% of people who literally sit down and write a whole entire novel. It's actually insane that you did that. And so when you go back and read it, you're going to be in awe of yourself. Like, this is actually a good book. And if there's more that you need to add, go through and work on it until you are satisfied with it. You have forever to work on it. So now that you're satisfied with it, you're on to step 5, which is formatting it, if you would like. go through and change your fonts, make it pretty, make it aesthetic to what you want, maybe throw like some little pictures in there, whatever you feel like, your heart's desire, go for it. This is your book, this is your manuscript, it's all yours. And guess what? You're done. You wrote an entire freaking novel. So congratulations, because that's it. You're done. I hope you wrote down all of those steps, because now you're going to go do it and you are going to conquer the world with this. Like, it's insane when you have that step-by-step guide, how easy it is to do it and just follow it through, because if you just keep in that mindset of, I can do this, you can. It's not that difficult. It's not like you need anybody else, you just have yourself. You have yourself, your computer, and your characters against the world. And when you're in that writing process, like, watch other writing channels, like, listen to the writing podcast like you are right now. Like, you are in the right place for success if you are wanting to write a novel. Like, this is where you should be. Because my entire goal is to help other teenagers to be able to write and achieve their dreams like I did. Because I was able to take the time to learn it and teach it to myself because I was homeschooled. Not everyone has that time. But I had that time, and I learned it, and I figured it out, and I wanted to come back and tell the entire world. I wanted to tell every teenager that I knew who ever had even thought about writing a novel to just try it, because it is the most rewarding, amazing experience that you could possibly do. To be able to create an entire world, like, your character is in its own entire world. Like, it's got family members, it has backstory, it has present, it has future. Like, this is an entire world that you made with your mind. And you wrote it down. And you made it a book. And other people can enjoy it. Like, writing stories is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Especially when your story has, like, that depth to it. Like, you put meaning into it. Like, you put a meaning to the entire story. Like I do. Which that's not what this video is about. It is about, like, the bare bones, the step-by-step process, not, like, the meat and what you should write about. But that will be a video that is coming soon, obviously. So, that's it. You're done with your book. Congratulations. Next week, I am going to be uploading a video on how to publish it. So you finished your book. If you want to publish it, come back next week for the publishing video, because it's honestly such a simple process that many people don't know about. Not simple in the way that's not hard, but it's simple in a hard way. Like, it's going to be frustrating and long. Like, simple does not mean easy. Simple does not mean short. Simple is just like, this is what you have to do, but it's going to be hard and it's going to take a long time. But it's totally, totally worth it. So I will be uploading videos every Sunday at noon is what my goal is. I know I will definitely be uploading every Sunday, but at noon is still up for debate what time I want to do. If you have any suggestions for times, drop your suggestions in the comments. And tell me if you are writing a novel, what it's about right now, or if you would like to in the future. Like, tell me what your ideas are, or why you were here in the first place. Like, what is the goals and ambitions behind why you want to write a novel? Like, it's all so interesting to me, and I have the time. Like, I will respond and read every single comment. Seriously, leave your comments. I am here, I'm paying attention, I am listening, I am reading everything. And I want to hear from you guys. So, yes, come back for next Sunday's video on publishing your book, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for all the future content about how to write books and, like, the beauty in writing and just being able to write as a teenager and balancing school and work and life and writing. Like, all of that good stuff is coming your way soon. So I hope you guys stick around for the journey, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next Sunday. So, goodbye.